Hello everybody, many of you have requested a video about how to make ambient and atmospheric pads with reverb. And ask and thou shalt receive. So here is a first tutorial about how to make ambient pads in just 5 quick steps. So let's get creative. Atmospheric and ambient pads can give your music that extra rich texture and emotional impact that you're looking for. And the great thing is they're relatively easy to make and the possibilities are endless. So today I want to recreate this pad sound. And also I'll be diving into some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to creating your own pads. And this is the pad put into context. Of the season's end, no regrets, stay on comfort you today. As you can hear, the pad really creates some lovely ambience that goes way in the background, but gives the music some extra emotional feel. Step 1. Choosing your sound source. One of the most important parts of making a pad is choosing the main sound. So what is your dry sound going to be like? And this could be practically anything, but sounds that have a clear attack and a short decay mostly suit pads the best. So you should think in the direction of plug sounds, although in this example I chose something in the middle. I wanted to have something natural sounding or something warm, so I found that the Rhodes keys really suit this. The only thing is that automatically this preset already has reverb, so you need to take it out, and I'm going to tweak some of the other features. And why did I take out all the reverb? Well, because we're going to add reverb later, so I want this sound to be absolutely dry. Step 2. Choosing the right notes. The problem that you have when you create a pad with reverb is that it very easily clogs up the entire mix. So you have way too many frequencies in the lower spectrum and also in the higher spectrum. And especially in the lower spectrum you want to keep things nice and clean and tight. So we can address this with the arrangement and of course with the EQ, but we'll do that in a step later. First of all, you want to choose the right notes and you don't want the notes to be too low. So what you want to do is you want to mostly play higher notes from the middle register and up. And also one thing to keep in mind is that you don't want to play full chords, because also these full chords will clog up your entire mix. So the best thing to do is to use notes that are part of multiple chords in your chord progression, so that you can extend them from one bar to the next. With these things in mind, I came up with the following pattern. So what I did here was I created a continuous arpeggio between 2 notes. And as you can see, they stay the same for multiple bars, which is nice, so they connect all the different chords. What I did is I cut some of the notes and then placed them an octave higher to give it that extra sparkle. And you'll hear that in the reverb, especially later. This is what it sounds like with the higher notes added. Now comes step 3, which is adding the reverb. I chose Valhalla Reverb, and you want to go for a large preset. Something like a church or a hall. And the thing is, I still want some of the original attack from the sound, because I want this pad to be a little bit more punchy. So I'm not going to put it on 100% wet. And also I'm not going to have any pre-delay. So the thing is, I want the original sound and the reverb sound to come in at the same time. I'm going to lower the decay time a bit because 11 seconds is a bit much. And also the depth is going to be lowered a little bit. So let's have another listen. So can you hear those higher notes? They really are like a nice sparkle. Step 4. Scooping out frequencies with the EQ. So even though we were smart with the arrangement by placing the notes higher, still we have too much frequency information. So we want to put the pad a little bit to the background, scoop out some of the frequencies that we don't need to make it fit nicely behind the music and create an ambient layer. I'm going to do a high pass filter to around about 500 Hz. You can take it even higher if you like, but for now this was okay. Also, I'm creating a high shelf to take out some of the high frequencies to make it fit in a little bit better, because the more high frequencies you have, the more the sound will stand out. So I think this should do the trick. And now I'm going to quickly bypass the EQ so that you can hear what frequencies I'm actually taking out. So that's quite a lot. You can hear that it's a bit muddy when you turn off the EQ. Now step 5, adding motion to our pad. Now the pad sounds nice, but it's a little bit static, so I want to add a little bit of extra motion. I want it to sway along with the music a little bit. So I'm going to use a volume plugin that's going to rhythmically turn down the volume and turn it up again. In this case, I'm using an old plugin from Nicky Romero, Kickstart. Now let's listen to what it sounds like. And now let's listen what the pad sounds like when I add it together with the piano. Do you hear how beautiful the ambience is in the background because of this pad? And because I did not put the reverb to 100% wet, we still have a nice amount of attack going on. Super. So here it is one more time, the pad put in context.
Of the season's end, wait, no regrets, stay on comfort you today. Wait, no more tears.
I must say that I really love these ambient sounds. They immediately give character to a song, and I hope this will help you with your own music. And if it did, share it with us, of course. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And for now, see you next time.